Xena and her boyfriend Lei are crazy lunatics in affection. They are presently in a court, arranging something significant. An incredibly popular criminal named Cohen has been gotten and is being sentenced for murders, attacks, theft, and a lot more inexcusable violations. Being his legal counselor, Xena takes. Furthermore, begins terminating at everybody. He is joined by his gangsters who are here to safeguard Cohen. Let him out of the binds first, yet they just snicker at him. Abruptly, Cohen sees a touchy in their grasp, which explodes and kills him while the couple is phenomenally left safe. The scene slices to a flashback when Xena was first gotten by Cohen. He attacked her in front of Lei, who couldn't speak loudly in light of the fact that he was frightened of Cohen's power. Short. At that point, he promised to make Cohen pay. He likewise got Xena, telling her that their lives have a place with one another. Back in the present, the couple's fantasy to kill Cohen is at last achieved. Outside, a specialized squad is trusting that the meeting will end their one responsibility. He advances inside with his group. They get into an extreme holler with Lei's men. Xena claims to be a maid in trouble and betrays Gu, yet he figures out how to save. Kills him and blinds Gu until the end of time. Xena, then again, cries while holding her sweetheart's body. While being captured, she commits to vindicate his passing by killing everybody Gu loves. In the accompanying scene, Gu is informed that he will always be unable to see from now onward. His, as it were, capacities, however, the injury brought about by the occurrence torment Gu consistently. The public faults him for every one of the passings, since he is the main smack faculty who came out alive from the court. Breaking things in the house. His girl Sia keeps him rational more often than not, yet in her non-appearance, he can scarcely think or work. Ultimately, her playing the violin becomes his best way to unwind. As days pass, Gu begins to recuperate. He likewise starts chipping away at his hearing. A ball tossed toward him. To test his abilities, she tosses a few balls at him and finds out that he has become the best at seeing without eyes in a couple of months. Yen is additionally flabbergasted by. A half year after the episode, Sia and Gu choose to go to Manila for an orchestra contest. Meanwhile, Xena is still in jail, counting the days until she can see Gu once more. The criminal Cohen's had a child named Kong who frantically needs to kill Xena. To do as such, so she will not sign the assent papers. Sia and Gu land in Manila and go straightforwardly to the theater for the opposition. Minutes before the presentation, Sia loses her rosin and is supplanted. Gu detects that his little girl isn't among the entertainers and calls her. She gets. In any case, Gu just hears her shouts. He hurries to the parking area, however, is seconds late from getting the vehicle. From that point forward, he rapidly settles on a decision to the police. A couple of hours after the fact, she was gone after with corrosive and left to kick the bucket. To recognize the body, Gu contacts her hand and ears, and her fingers have thick calluses on them. This body has nothing of such. Be that as it may, the man will not trust him. He says the ID card found in her pocket is enough proof and no further moves will be made. Angrily, Gu goes after the official. What's more, the episode is communicated real-time on television. In the meantime, in jail, Xena sees the news and is to be moved to a jail in Manila. In the following scene, she is veiled, tied. Furthermore, encompassed by many watchmen while en route to the new jail. Out of nowhere, the vehicle stops. A moment. She additionally ambushes every one of the watchmen following behind and in the end get away. At the point when Kong learns about the departure, he kills a watchman out of resentment. He arranges more men to find her as. Elsewhere, Gu is in cuffs, being informed that his little girl is most certainly dead. He understands that the police won't help him and on second thought send him back home. Consequently, what he cannot deny is that Xena had been sitting in the front seat hanging tight for him. To do exactly that. Rather than killing him immediately, she claims to be a decent police official who will assist him with tracking down his little girl. Then, at that point, we at last get to see Sia with numerous other abducting young ladies from around the globe and selling them through the dull web. He looks into Sia on account of her excellence and raises her cost. At the same time, since Xena has a deep understanding of Kang's traffic ring, she tells Gu precisely how mouths shut with regards to Kang's business. Despite the fact that Xena needs to kill Sia eventually, she will be Gu's ally till then. They choose to involve Xena as lure and get into the place where dealt young ladies are kept. With her assistance, Gu finds the quantity of. She is the arbiter responsible for checking assuming the young ladies are adequate for their clients. She endorses Xena, however, faculties that Gu isn't there with sincere goals. In the wake of sending Xena inside. Then, he follows Xena behind, however the two of them are gotten just later. On the dim web has begun. Numerous clients are watching the young ladies perform consistently, offering cash for their lives. At the point when it is Sia's move. Yet, when he attempts to contact her, she goes after him. Kang vows to show her something new tomorrow, builds her cost by 6 million yuan. Elsewhere, Xena is hung topsy-turvy and Gu is limited by a fastened collar. Kang's accomplice Beth comes to insult Xena and help her to remember. Gets woozy and afterward brought back up. Gu figures out how to break his binds yet is overwhelmed by the criminals. At the point when Beth leaves for quite a while, he figures out how to turn the. Beth lets Kang know that she has gotten Xena. Yet, after getting back to investigate the detainees, both Xena and Gu are prepared to go after her. She is kept prisoner and requested to uncover where Sia is. Which one is Gu's girl? However, every one of the young ladies grabbed inside the last week are with a man named Mai, who is likewise Kang's right-hand man. Abruptly, the police examiner Rama shows up at the scene with his crew. Before Beth is gotten, Xena pushes her, making the glass shard dive deep into her throat and kill her. Then, at that point, the two take off to a house that Xena claims has a place with her. Gu actually doesn't think her and keeps cleaning his wounds. Elsewhere, Kang is told about Beth's passing, so he sends his right-hand man Mai to kill the escapees. Sometime later, Rama thumps on the loft entryway, close by Mai and his kin. Gu gets a smidgen of this and lays out up a few snares in the house. At the point when they break in, Gu gets a smidgen of this and lays out up a few snares in the house. At the point when they break in, Gu is going to be killed until he leaps off the window utilizing the rope he set before. He meets Mai again in the corridor and catches him utilizing a similar rope which is presently attached to a lift. After being tormented, Mai carries them to the capacity unit where the taken young ladies are kept. They set numerous young ladies free, yet Sia isn't one of them. This implies that she has either been sold or she is at Kang's place ready to be sold the following day. At the police headquarters, Yen shows up and asks about progress Rama has put forth in the defense. At the point when Rama will not share data, he goes searching for his companion all alone. In the meantime, Gu holds Xena at knife point and requests that she uncover her identity as. It ends up that he detected the smell of a spoiled cadaver in the loft that Xena guaranteed was hers. Gu registers what her identity is and calls her an insane lady. Before they talk further, Yen shows up and focuses the firearm at Xena. She rapidly kills Mai to be the main individual who knows where Sia is. In the event that they kill her right now, they may very well never get to see Sia, which gives her a benefit. Xena orders Gu to pick either his companion and his little girl, assuming he picks the last option. Yet, not profound enough to kill him. From that point onward, the accomplices plunk down inside a vehicle. What's more, discuss their pasts. Xena uncovers that she was offered to a posse by her dad, who she killed years after the fact. Since her introduction to the world, her family had been her late beau. Gu recognizes that it is an extreme discipline, yet he wants her assistance to get to his little girl in the primary spot. From that point forward, they go to a nearby bootleg market weapon. He sent her man who. The whole transport of arms and ammo. One thing Gu doesn't neglect to get is the man's fun balls. In the accompanying scene, Sia is brought outside for the following dull web livestream. Kang gives her the choice to one or the other stay with him or be offered to an outsider yet as an answer. Sia says that her dad is coming to get her. Right then, the vehicle breaks into the primary entrance and Xena begins terminating at everybody. Since she is safeguarded by the vehicle, toss a fun ball at Sia to tell her he is here. She securely keeps the ball with her, hanging tight for him to bring her back home. The watchmen are stupidly sent outside to battle the two. When they have gone into the house, they switch the lights out, continue to kill every one of the watchmen consistently. Ultimately, Kang is left with, as it were, his attorney and Sia. The attorney leaves him. It is in an ideal situation dead to say that he is shot and killed by Xena. From that point onward, she hangs Sia topsy-turvy with a chain. In the event that Gu knows where she is, he can get her, thus she tosses the fun ball at him. Gu gets the ball and finds her effectively. He likewise shoots Xena, dead just prior to getting his girl. Nonetheless, the tempest hasn't passed at this point as the bomb is as yet joined to her. Right then, Yen shows up, uncovering that his injury wasn't deadly. Great individuals are saved eventually. In the last scene, Yen and Sia come to see Gu in jail. They enjoy blissful discussions about existence and dating. Subscribe for more videos like this. Thanks for watching.